Girl, that thing is bullshit.
Hello and welcome to another episode of O-Faces. We're your host, Mr.
and Mrs Mocha. Yeah, I think you really went into that too fast. I like that song a lot.
I mean, I can put it back on for you.
That's okay.
You
We'll
sure?
listen to it later.
Okay. Well,
I feel like that was the fastest intro ever though.
yeah, that was pretty quick.
Were you trying to get it over?
Trying to get it done.
Your DJ skills are declining.
I'll work on it.
Because we haven't done the podcast in so long.
Topic today, something that's, you're a professional and just doing whatever the fuck you want to do. So how do you get comfortable being yourself in the lifestyle?
I mean, like you said, no shame in your lifestyle game. I think a lot of people get cliquey. Like they get around other people and it becomes cliquish. You know what I mean? And they think it's just like high school. Like you feel like, oh, well, I'm friends with the jocks and the cheerleaders, so I have to have this certain persona. So I think they let other lifestylers influence the way that they lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Or because Joe Blow said that this is the only way you can lifestyle, then that's what people do. They're like, oh, well, no, I mean, so-and-so told me that. I think some people are open-minded to doing it, but not completely open. We're not going to completely explore our sexual fantasies. We're just going to do these ones that our friends are comfortable with and around. Because I really do think it comes down to, influence. Who you're around, who influences you.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, I think that's something that we've seen even when we first got into the lifestyle together. I remember being on a lake and, one group of people saying, hey, if you play with that group of people, we won't play with you because, that group of people, they're just too promiscuous and we're not, so.
Well, cool. We're all out here fucking, buddy.
Yeah. But it was interesting how many people did, fall into that.
Yeah.
How many people would actually...
But we've never let people dictate what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you and I, or just you by yourself.
I think the people that you're around and the group that you're with oftentimes influences the way you lifestyle. So, and I think that people get stuck in their groups. So they may have gotten to a point where they want to do something different, but they don't want to
tell the group that they're going to branch out into BBC or there's people that go to Splash Mocha and they won't say that they're going to Splash Mocha to other lifestyle people, and that blows my fucking mind.
Yeah, I mean, remember at our parties we had lots of people who.
I know that. I'm just saying it. Initially, it blows my mind, and I think it's because you have let me be completely wide open as far as certain things. Just don't touch your ass, right?
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate that. So that being said, the question is this: what do you say to people? What do you say to people who are in a group? And I understand it because we've had the conversation before. We're social creatures. So if we have a group of people who are our friends, we are concerned about what they think and what they feel about the things that we do. Mm-hmm. We see it all of the time. Where within the lifestyle, you level up or you change, you adjust. Mm-hmm. So people who are going from soft swappers to full swapping, but they have they're around a circle of people who are only soft swappers. They keep a secret from those people for so long.
Well, again, I think it's just because people don't accept it. Just it's not really super acceptable and regular. I don't even want to say regular, but swinger parties. If you're a bi male, that's too taboo. So I think that's where some people just need to branch off and find their taboo friends. Because I got all kinds of fucked up. Well, I don't want to say fucked up on here. All kinds of taboo fantasies that. My friend may not like this or may not like that, but if they're my friend, then they know that I'm going to do what I want to do. Mm-hmm. But some people, I started with my friend, sorry, Guys, my microphone is being stupid. I started with, my friend, this friend or whatever, and we kind of evolved out of that, so I couldn't be friends with that person anymore because they didn't like what I did, which is silly. But again, it's just like back to high school shit.
Mm-hmm. And it's something that happens often, unfortunately, in lifestyle. I mean, we've heard our own friends talk about different people who's like, oh, well, we don't like playing with them because they play with these people, or because, they play this way, and it's always blown my mind that you will get into the lifestyle, which is already something that's outside of the societal norms, and then you will let people around you
dictate what's okay and what's not okay for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's your fucking private part. It's your dick or your vagina or your ass or whatever. You do what you want to do with those things. Just like nobody controls the thoughts that you have in your head. I mean, shit, if I told everybody every thought I had in my head, it would probably be a scary time.
No, they wouldn't be surprised. They know that you're a fucking perv. But I mean, it's I think the whole point of the lifestyle is to be what society believes to be sexual deviance. So like I said, I wouldn't want to be in a lifestyle where I'm worried about people outside of the lifestyle judging me, and then you get into the lifestyle and you're worried about people inside the lifestyle judging you.
But it happens every day.
Every day.
There's plenty of groups and plenty of cliques and whatever, and I feel like we've just become a part of all of them, but everybody just kind of knows what we are, what we do. But there's there's also the people that have said to us, like at parties, like, oh, I can't fuck you after Mr. Mocha, I can't go after that or whatever. Or white guys that won't play with me because they think that I just fuck mandingo dicks, and for some reason that's bothers them, which is fine. That's not, I'm not going to force anyone to fuck me, but if I'm telling you I like you and I want to fuck you, then what should it matter about so-and-so's dick from 6 years ago? Mm-hmm. Hopefully she's went back to where she's supposed to go at that point. Or there's a problem.
Yeah.
So, just like, fisting isn't my thing. We're just going to go to extremes here. Fisting isn't my thing, but if that's your fucking thing, do it.
Yeah.
Fucking get fisted all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely think having a space in a lifestyle to be comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
And just keeping in mind, like I was speaking to our friends last week, to people who are outside the lifestyle, what we do is extremely wild. Even soft swapping is crazy to people. You'll see people who will think that, how many people have we met who are vanilla and they don't know we're in a lifestyle, and they're talking and they tell us about this one time when they had a wild trip to Vegas where they made out with another girl. It's like, oh shit.
That's like that movie Meet the Millers, where they take him to the tent and remember the guy like ear fucks him with his finger, and he's like, that's so fucking hot.
Yeah.
But again, like, what, you may be wilder than us, because Mr. Mocha and I like have hard nose and like things that we won't do. But again, that's not, we still accept people.
We're not going to say, oh, we're not going to play with you. To me, it's as simple as, these are my boundaries. As long as you respect those, then I'm comfortable with who you are and what you are.
Just like I had to tell someone at a party that, just because somebody's bi doesn't mean they're automatically going to come fuck you or try to fuck you. No. You may be a hot dude, but you walk into a gym, there might be a million bi guys in there, so all those guys are automatically trying to fuck you? No. They're absolutely not.
Yeah, that's incredibly...
Yeah, so, you don't want to think that, think outside the box. Just because that person is a sexual sadist, likes pain, or I'm going to extremes here. We're going to completely extreme, but so-and-so likes to get pegged by their girlfriend or whatever the case may be, that doesn't mean that they're coming into a party with a fucking strap-on on, and they're gonna fuck everyone there. It's not gonna happen to you.
That old
doesn't
Eddie
mean
Murphy skit. Say, boy, look mighty good in them jeans. Come on over here and let me fucking ass. Yeah, no. I mean, I definitely think, for us, and I think that's the thing, what we consider extreme and what the next person considers extreme is completely different. Mm-hmm. There are some people who consider extreme simply having intercourse with someone else's mate. Mm-hmm. Like, that's wild. Oh my God, I can't believe you do that. So I think once you step into the lifestyle, I think that having an open mind and understanding that you have it two ways. Either A, the people who are around you can be honest and say, hey, these are the things that we're into, but we respect your boundaries, or they can just fucking lie to you. Because that's usually what happens is, the same group of people who you've known for the last 5 years, you don't know that they're into some other stuff. Yeah. The only thing that means is that they view you as so close-minded that they're not comfortable telling you what they're into. So they just hide it from you like they hide the fact that they're in a lifestyle from their parents.
Right.
So I think that's really just your only choice once you get into the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, you think that, as people evolve, if you know people who've been really in the lifestyle for multiple years and they're in the exact same place doing the exact same things that they were doing when you first met them, that means they're just not telling you. More than likely, they're just not telling you.
Well, I mean, also, too, I think there's, etiquette in certain places. There's certain things that just aren't accepted in certain places. If you're just at, I don't know. If you're at there are just certain things. If you were at what are those things called? The furry thing that we were talking about?
Oh, yeah,
the furries.
Yeah.
Anybody can go into there, and I'm sure none of those people will give a fuck if you just came regular. They're there living their best life, doing their own thing. But I feel like sometimes, and I'm not knocking just swinger couple parties, but there are some let's say hotel events, hotel takeovers, stuff like that things aren't accepted there, or somebody might side-eye you or give you a dirty look because you did something that was not just swinging at a party. And I mean swinging, just couple swapping or soft swapping or stuff like that. I mean, those are things that people do behind closed doors, but I just don't think that's something you should be ashamed of.
Yeah.
I think you should just be able to say or do what you want to do. I mean, do you know how many people I can't say how many people, but there are several times that I get side eyes from gangbangs. I like gangbangs. I don't care if you like a gangbang. I'm not going to make you jump it. Sorry, my phone just went off.
Yeah.
Are we still on? Basically, I would get a side eye from people because I like multiple men at a time. But I really do, and I've said it 1,000 times, group things are my thing. I do
you've also not really given a shit, which is I think one of the coolest things about Mrs. Mocha is that throughout the years, I've seen her tell women that she was into, oh, I want to get a gangbang, I want to do, she'll say all of this wild shit, and these women will either give her the side eye or tell her, oh my God, I would never do that. That right there is crazy. That's too wild for me. And then 6 months later, they're here in the basement with her sharing 4 dicks.
Right.
Which is, credit to Mrs. Mocha for not allowing somebody to say something, her say, oh, I like this, and someone go, that's too wild, and she doesn't go, oh, I'm just joking, or she doesn't back off. She continues to be who she is. Mm-hmm. That is because that opens up the that gives other people that space to say, okay, it is okay. And then also,
but who's to say, again, not to be on a soapbox today, but who's to say it's not okay? Who's telling you that it's not okay? Is your husband telling you it's not okay? Is your wife telling you not? Is it just your rules and your dynamics? That's fine. But like I said, even from the beginning, Mr. Mocha got me because he started off with fantasies in our bedroom. We were fucking each other, but it was talking through fantasies in our bedroom, and I can say we haven't went through all of them, but there's been a good amount of fantasies that we've talked about while we're fucking each other that we've actually done, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like we've ended up later, I mean, some of them taking years, like even, I know on our last episode that Mr. Mocha deleted,
Oops.
That we just talked about, you know, like we've kind of evolved ourselves. Like I even during like my downtime told Mr. Mocha like, I'll be a little vulnerable on here, but I told him that I didn't feel like because I was sick, I didn't feel like I could sexually satisfy him anymore, and that maybe he should just find a girlfriend, which I never in our whole relationship ever thought I would tell him like maybe that's what he needs. But I mean, I thought maybe he needed a girlfriend because I didn't like the fact that I couldn't sexually satisfy him, so I wanted him to have someone that at that moment could sexually satisfy him.
And for me, it was, I think for me, it's always exciting to see her push her boundaries. That's what I've always liked because, you know, from my standpoint, I mean, I've said this before, when Mrs. Mocha and I first got together, I always felt like I wanted her to experience everything that I'd experienced. Just because I had been single longer than Mrs. Mocha had been single between our marriages. And I, you know, had the opportunity and the time to experience a lot of stuff. And I always said, I want you to experience everything that I experienced. So her boundaries, you know, she always levels up. You know, we're constantly leveling up. And then for me, just for her to say, hey, I would like for you to consider doing this, it was exciting for me because it was her pushing her own boundaries.
But I mean, I think during that time though too, we pushed a lot of boundaries, and Mr. Mocha, I can tell you at one point in time, didn't really believe me. I think we had to have a few conversations about it before he was like, okay, I'm going to, because his thing is I know you're sick. I don't want you to do that stuff. I don't want you to be uncomfortable. But my thing is like, for years, because he was always very fair in our relationship. And I feel like there were some years that I was not as fair to him as he was to me because of insecurities and whatever else. And I felt at that moment I wanted to be fair to him. It was pushing my boundaries, yes, but I wanted him to be as happy as I've been for years. And he's always happy, don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But I feel like there were always some like walls and some, not, what would you say? Not walls.
No, there's definitely walls. But here's the thing. For me, it was always about, and it is about leading from the front. I think that one of the things that a lot of people do, the person in the lifestyle in a relationship who does the most pushing, oftentimes is not willing to give what they're asking for. Mm-hmm. So from my standpoint, there's a lot of things with Mrs. Mocha where it was just not understanding. Okay, even when as we broke through different barriers, there was a time when she was, okay, I'm not comfortable with you kissing somebody. But then...
I never said that.
Yeah.
Let's give a better example.
I mean, no, there was a time. No, there was definitely a time.
Absolutely not. I will not accept that.
Oh, there absolutely was.
I will not accept that.
My wife has amnesia sometimes.
Early in
our relationship, it made her uncomfortable. But once she realized that it didn't mean that it was different, she was okay with it. Because in her mind at first, I think it was, let's save something for us. Now, I can be delusional, which
he usually is. He's going to have dementia before me. We've discovered that.
But on this one, I will say early in our relationship, there were a lot of things that Mrs. Mocha was challenged with. But as she crossed through different boundaries, and I think for her it was always understanding, okay, that does not mean that you feel this way about someone else. And then it got to the point where with us, our relationship was so strong. I don't think she was concerned with, any physical act.
Yeah, I mean, even down to, like I said, more recently when we've evolved a little further into things, my like biggest issue with being sick was not actually like being sick. It was not being able to sexually satisfy Mr. Mocha, because we've always lifestyled. We've always, even if we weren't playing, we were always doing something in the lifestyle. So I had to like reaccustom myself to be vanilla, which, just so everyone knows, I'm going to give that a 2 out of 10, and I do not fucking recommend it. I can handle like 2% of my life or 10% of my life being vanilla, but just 24/7 was not the move. But anyways, I wanted to push my own boundaries because I want him to be just as happy as I always am. And on top of that, like everyone knows I'm a little selfish when it comes to dick. But, and I was definitely losing my shit quite a few times, and I needed Mr. Mocha to go out and get some pussy so he could deal with me being a psychopath for a little bit. I can't say I was a psychopath. I was just sad all the time. It was not a cute look.
Mrs. Mocha is never a psychopath. I will say that, like, throughout our relationship, when she thinks she's being moody or angry, like, she's like a 2 on the Richter scale. Every once in a while she'll get to about a 3, but she's never bad. She will get kind of quiet when she's...
Quiet is never good for me.
Yeah, if she's quiet, that's an issue.
And not even just for Mr. Mocha, like just in regular life. If I'm not talking, then I probably need to go to the hospital.
But I'll tell you what, now that she's feeling better, she's fucking like a machine. She's been giving me some... she's trying to make up for lost time.
I'm done. But back to the subject. I am trying to make up for lost time. It's been a minute.
I appreciate it. I'm not complaining. I'm taking all the pussy I can get.
But we go back. We're digressing. We push our own boundaries all the time. It's up to you in your relationship if you want to push your boundaries, or if you share your business, or whatever you do. But there's something out there for everybody. There's something or some. I can assure you that you don't always want to be a soft swapper. You stop at soft swapping because you're routine, or because one side of the relationship isn't comfortable, which is great for you if that's good for your dynamic. But I can assure you there's people out there that have different fetishes. They just don't even know. Shit. I didn't really know half my fetishes till we got on fucking Twitter. And I was like, God damn, I really thought I was a fucking freak, and I was not.
But I also think that there's don't let people stifle your growth in a lifestyle. So, and don't let them push you. Don't let anybody push you, to do something before you're ready. You move at your own pace, but more than anything, don't be stifled by the fear that, hey, my circle is going to look down on me for this, because that is a very, very, very common thing. And unfortunately, we've been around people where these friends over here are into some other shit, and this other group of friends who they are their friends have no idea they're into that shit. And this person is over here saying, yeah, something, I can't believe that they're into fucking gangbangs and all of this wild shit. You letting your wife get fucked by, multiple guys, and they have no idea they're insulting the shit out of the couple who's standing 1 foot away from them, because they don't know they do that. Mm-hmm. So that's also a reason for us as lifestyles to be fucking responsible about the shit that comes out of our mouths. It's okay to say that I'm not into it, but we have to be careful. And I know that I have definitely been guilty of doing it. And my loving wife over the years, she's tamed my tongue and helped me learn to be more aware. And also, even if you listen to our podcast from the very beginning to now, you will see our evolution you know, you'll see that, you know, we've pushed our boundaries. When we first got into lifestyle, like, we were not doing any, like, no condoms. Like, fuck that. We're not doing that. You know, of course, even now that we believe in testing before we do it, we don't just, you know, we're not cowboys about it, you know, but, you know, we've evolved in different ways. Mm-hmm. So if you listen to the very beginning and listen to our evolution, you'll see that, you know, we've come to a place where we don't say what we're careful about discouraging people. And we can say this because, you know, Mrs. Mocha's never really been, she's not too bad about it, but I've definitely been guilty of it. Right. I've been guilty of opening my mouth and talking about an aspect of the lifestyle that I don't participate in, but talking down on that. Mm-hmm. And then later on learning that I did that right in front of somebody who was into something that I had spoken down on.
But I think that's where you, like, got to talk about, like, there's lifestyle, like, swinger stuff, and then there's, like, kinks and fetishes. I think that's two different categories. But
lifestyle, all of that is in the lifestyle.
So that, and what you were saying earlier is basically that, you know, your circle is telling you not to do something. But just like for us, I mean, we always find another circle. Not saying, like, give up your friends, like, but we have several different circles, and we know which ones mesh and which ones don't, and we just don't integrate those people, you know?
Yeah.
And we tell them, but we're super honest with our friends, like, oh no, this is just not something, this is not a party you're going to want to go to.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to want to come to this because you don't like seeing your wife get fucked by, you know, 5 other dudes, or you're not going to want to come to this because you're not into, like, interracial stuff or whatever. And I'm just giving examples of us in general. There are plenty of other things, or, you know, like, I know one of our friends, the first time he had any type of cuckolding experience, and he was not getting cucked, but the couple he went and met did. Yeah, he wasn't expecting that, and he was super, I can't say he was judgy, he was shocked.
Oh, he was judgy as fuck.
Yeah, and I just was like, that's like what they do, but that, you know, I don't know, like I said, there's...
Yeah, he was, I don't understand how a man can blah, blah, like, bro, that's what they're into.
Right, that's their thing.
You know, that's what they're into because, you know, it's the levels to it. You know, I don't understand how, because I don't understand how a man can, you know, let his woman feminize him and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, bro, you do realize that there are people who aren't in the lifestyle will look at you in the same light because you are fucking somebody's wife in front of him. Mm-hmm. You know, so you're judging the guy for allowing you to fuck his wife while she humiliates him. Mm-hmm. But there's a huge group of people who would literally judge you for being there doing it.
Yep.
And they'll judge you equally just like they're judging him. So you're...
Or just like someone may not like him because he's a tall BBC.
Yeah.
Like, well, you're not playing with my wife, or you're not playing, you know, there's always put the shoe on the other foot. Our thing just randomly freaking went off. We're not sure freaking why.
Yeah, that was me.
Did you touch something?
Yeah, I didn't have it plugged over yet.
I'm so dead. Okay, so we're back on if you guys couldn't hear us for a second.
Oops.
Anyway, so Mr. Mocha was trying to rip my dress up the whole drive home, but the outside of my pussy was like super tender because I had gotten pummeled the night before, and I got waxed that morning. So my pussy...
What's the policy if somebody else makes your pussy sore?
I totally fucked you the night after.
If somebody else makes your pussy sore, what does that have to do with this guy?
It was the outside. It wasn't the inside of my pussy.
That's because somebody else was fucking you.
I looked like I had fucking leprosy on the outside of my vagina.
No, you didn't. You look sunburned.
It was so red.
I'm not sure if you've ever seen leprosy, honey, but no.
I'm making stuff up.
Yeah, leprosy is a bad word to be talking about near your vagina. So we're going to go with you look like you had a sunburned kitty.
Okay, we'll see. That's
from
fine.
all of the grinding that you were doing?
No, someone I think had just shaved, and when I was writing them, it was like a little scruffy.
Oh, you had the little sandpaper?
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
You didn't care when you were watching?
It looked good. Yeah, I mean, hell, I saw, like, you didn't care while it was happening because you were talking real nasty.
What did I say?
All kind of nasty shit.
What did I say? That
Fuck
was
this slutty pussy.
I didn't say that.
Fuck it harder. Give me that big cock. Yeah, all kind of shit. I heard you. I was like...
Oh, I did tell someone that I love their cock.
Yeah. I love your big cock. Shove it in there.
Big dick.
And the lady who was next to her was like, oh my God, I can't believe she can take it like that. She was very impressed at your dick receiving skills.
Sometimes you gotta take a big dick.
Yeah, she's like, you can take it from every angle. Yeah.
I mean, that's not true. I have one angle I still can't do, but...
Well, it looked like you were taking it from a lot of angles.
I didn't take it from the one angle I can't take it from.
Well, I mean, you took it from about 87 other angles.
That's okay. I like to be flexible.
Yeah, you look like you definitely had a good time.
Yeah, so we almost had an accident on the way home because Mr. Mocha was drunk and he was trying to touch my pussy, and we literally were...
Listen, I was only trying to touch your pussy. I didn't touch your steering wheel. I didn't touch the pedals.
We literally were 11 minutes from our home. So it was a long 11-minute drive.
I mean, you were driving slow.
I always drive slow.
Well, so I think we're more like 40 minutes away from the house.
No, it took us 11 minutes. And then Mr. Mocha passed out for like 3.5 seconds. Then we pulled in the driveway. Then he walked in the house and then was awaiting for me in the bed naked. Anyways, but...
Did you take advantage of the penis?
No, I fell asleep. I'm lying, I did.
Well, if that's what you call sleep, I hope you fall asleep again tonight.
I will be going to regular sleep tonight.
Oh, good.
I need to go to bed, Mr.
No, I know.
Mocha.
I like the code. I get it. Regular sleep.
Goodbye.
Sleep. Okay, going to bed. That's new code word.
Okay.
So if you ever hear Mrs. Mocha say she's going to sleep,
No. That's
make sure you
Mr.
add air
Mocha.
quotes. Air quotes.
That's Mr. Mocha, because he'll be like, oh, I'm so tired. I need a nap. That's AKA let's go fuck. Yes or no?
I mean, if I'm in the bed
Right.
and you decide to come in
Right. Okay.
and it's hard already,
Might as well, right?
might as well.
Get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, but back to our subject that we were talking about.
Yes.
I think that it's okay for everyone to evolve and do what they feel is right. Don't stick with one group of people because...
Expand your horizons.
Right. Don't because you feel like, well, I really became close with Mary and John. I'm making up names right now.
Yeah.
But I became really, like, I'm best friends with Mary and John, but Mary and John should still be your friend if you decide that you want to go do porno tomorrow with Shane Diesel or whoever. You know what I mean? Like,
don't be cowards.
Yeah.
Don't be cowards. Don't. And I'll say this: don't be cowards. And get with a group of people and go, oh shit, I know I can't hang out with these people if I'm hanging out with them. Mm-hmm. You know, we're adults. If your friends try to take ownership of you, like, I am not married to another couple. Mm-hmm. All right. And I think that's one of the things throughout our lifestyle experience that we have definitely changed some people's behavior, because we've had friends early on who go, oh, well, you hang out with those guys, we're not going to hang out with you. And then we're like, okay, we're not going to hang out with you. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, you know, I thought we were friends. No, we're not friends if you tell me who I can't be friends with. Just because you don't like those people don't mean I can't like those people. And, you know, of course, they come around and we have friends. We have friends who don't like each other, but they respect the fact that we have friends. Mm-hmm. If you find that you only have one group of friends that is not either expanding, where you're including more couples and more people, I'm not talking about just sexually, I'm talking about intellectually, all right, and socially. If you're in an area where there's multiple cliques of people and you find yourself in one, especially when you know that there's other people who you could possibly be friends with, but you're afraid to offend the people who you hang out with, don't be fucking cowards. Because then you you're missing
I
out.
feel like it's like cowardly either.
It's definitely cowardly. It's definitely cowardly. We've seen so many people who do that.
But some people are creatures of habit, so that it's harder for you to do something different if you're a creature of habit. I'm very much a creature of habit, so it's harder for me to.
And as a creature of habit, you are not stuck in one clique of people. You hang out with people who you like. Now, if you wind up in a clique of people because there are no options of people who you like, that's one thing. That's different. But if you are in an area where you know that the only reason you're not associating with that person over there is because this person over here you know don't like them, you're being a coward. Like you are being a coward and you're being a child. It's high school. You're grown-ups. Expand your horizons, get to know new people. We are part of a very, very, very small society and community. And this is what's going to keep you from growing, because I feel like there's so many people who we've spoken to who say, oh man, I wish we could do this.
But why the fuck can't you do that?
You can do it. Oh, well, our friends aren't going to be okay with this. You know, hey, we want to come to, and I don't knock them for it. I just feel sorry for them. Hey, we want to come to your party, but you know, it's kind of outside of, I know our social circle wouldn't really be cool if we did this. I don't knock you for trying to.
Well, guess what? We don't have to tell your fucking.
Yeah, we're not going to tell on you. We're not going to tell on you. But, you know, how many times have we had parties where there winds up being 3 people from that social circle, quote unquote, and they're like, oh, wow, you guys come to these parties too? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because you're at another social party where you can't go do that stuff.
Expand your horizons.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about it, fantasize about it. If it's not something you can handle right away, then talk about it later on down the line.
And then also don't be those people who are shitting on other people's dreams and desires. You know, don't be the negative person who is discouraging people from being themselves.
Let me give it an example.
Please.
So I had someone reach out to me about like race play. Race play is not my thing. It's just my personal preference. It's not my personal preference. Did I say that right? It's not.
It's not your preference.
Yeah, it's not my personal preference. God bless. I can't fucking talk. But it's not my personal preference. But I just, you know, like the guy was like emphasizing like, oh, BBC, and then some other stuff that like I just told him like, hey, you know, I like all dicks. I love BBC, but I like all dicks. And race play is just not my thing. If that's your thing, that's cool. And the further the conversation went, the guy kept like pushing, like, hey, you know, I want to do this. And like, we hadn't even talked about playing. We were just literally having a conversation. And I had to hand my phone to Mr. Mocha so that he could see what was happening. And he was like, oh, the guy's asking for this, and this. And again, it was just not something that I want to do. I don't care if everybody else does that, but it's just not something I've ever really had a desire to do. Mm-hmm. But if you do that, cool. And maybe I told him like, maybe you can find someone else that, cause I think he was going to be at Mocha. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was going to be at Mocha, and I just told him that was not my thing, and it's not something I'm really into. I'll play with you, but I'm just not into that. And we have several friends that are into race play. Do I give a shit that they're into race play? No. But I'm just not going to do it myself. Mm-hmm. You know?
You can be comfortable saying, once again, you can be comfortable saying what you're not into, mm-hmm. while not.
I'm not going to knock you for your fetish. Like, I was glad that he was honest, because I can be 100% honest. Had he got me into the bed or in the bedroom and started that, I might have, I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have self-fucked him, but I probably wouldn't have said the things he wanted me to say. So.
Yeah, and it would have ruined the experience for you. You know, why not just say what it is?
Right.
And be comfortable in your own skin. And hey, who knows? You know, 2-3 years down the road, you may turn around and go, hey, all of a sudden I'm interested in this.
Right.
And I think it kind of makes you look like an idiot when you were a vocal shit talker about a thing, and then all of a sudden you're into it. Because we know people like that.
Yes.
We know people very much like that.
Yep, later on down the line, or people that talk about people that do party favors. And a year down the road, we see them doing that same thing.
Yeah, going wild.
Yeah, but I mean, again, whatever you do, that's okay. It's okay to do what you do, but just like it was hard, I can't say it was hard. We found our tribe, and we keep finding more and more people because we keep evolving, but we still have the same friends that we started with. I can't say all of them, but close friends are still our friends no matter what our fetish or our kink is. And they're aware. Mm-hmm. And they're okay with it.
Yeah, I think once you give people power to make you feel bad for what you like, once you give them that power, then you're kind of subject to everybody else's whim.
Well, just like some women or men slut shame or whatever, and they don't like the word whore or for whatever reason. If you're not exploring something because there's some PTSD there, of course, don't do that. You know, don't push your boundaries because you want to be that uncomfortable. But, you know, don't shame somebody else for what they do. But just because there's people for example, vanilla people, they can't understand why you're a swinger. Just the basic swinging stuff. Oh, I'll never let my husband fuck another person, or I'll never even just be adjacent to that, because they don't understand it. But they're probably every night having a fantasy or in their bathroom jacking off or touching their pussy, thinking about something, but they can't tell their spouse. Mm-hmm. But because they don't understand it, that's a lot of times why people judge. Like, there are a lot of, I think, times in my life that people have judged me based on things, and it's because and I didn't realize until much later in life, it's because they didn't understand it. Like, my parents couldn't understand why I married Mr. Mocha. Because he was black. He was black, and my mom actually made a comment to me once that if there were, how did she say it? If you were in a room full of white guys and all of them wanted you, you would only notice the black guy. It's something along that time and those lines. And she told me that I was addicted to big black dicks. Yes, my mother said that.
You're addicted to the big black cocks.
Yes, but I mean, here's the thing. My mom can't understand it because it's not something she would do.
And I have to say this, like, I think for me, one of the things I will legitimately say that I appreciated about my wife is if she's in a room full of guys, she's going to choose the one that she's most attracted to. I've seen her in a room full of black guys where she liked the white dude. Like, my wife likes who has the ability to turn her on. You know, which to me is a bigger turn on. Don't get me wrong. You know, if she sees, you know, two guys, one that's white and one that's black, and they're both fit, they're both, you know, sarcastic, and they're both sexy, okay, she's probably going to go with the black dude. But she's not going to fucking, you know, take Urkel over Captain America. Pause
on that. I would fuck both of them, thank you.
True.
Okay, yeah.
True.
Let's not even say that. If they're both turning me on the same way, I'll be like, are you guys into MFM? Because we're about to do that.
Yeah. I mean, but that's also, I think that's one of the stereotypes that she's always got whacked with. Hey, it was really funny when, you know, her mom said that. And, you know, fortunately, you know, of course, my wife being herself found it fucking hilarious. She was offended, but she laughed her ass off about the situation, you know, because there's a great example of someone seeing something and then automatically thinking that they know you, what you want, what you like, and trying to shame you into conforming to what they want, which is something that we'll never do. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I think we're to a place where we just do what feels good. Yeah. You know, the only person whose opinion I'm beholden to is my wife's, and vice versa. Yeah. You know, outside of that, you know, the fucking world is my oyster. The world is her oyster.
Yep. Yeah, we've had, like I said, it's been an interesting journey, like the whole time. Mr. Mocha has definitely he had like a kind of girlfriend. We're gonna say kind of girlfriend. I think it was like probably like the second time in our relationship that he consistently talked to the same person every day, which I think initially I was like, we'll throw it all out there. She actually was kind of his ex-girlfriend before we were together. So he started talking to her again, and that was definitely, I'm normally like okay with his ex-girlfriends, and I was actually okay with her. I just had to get over myself. Because I trust that he'll do the right thing, and if he doesn't, then I watch lots of serial killer shows and it'll be fine.
And then I will say, even more for me, like I'm always very excited when Mrs. Mocha is a part of whatever I have, a part of things. Mm-hmm. So, one thing that I enjoyed is Mrs. Mocha started taking an interest and engaging. Like I've always liked for Mrs. Mocha to engage females that I interact with. In fact, I'd much rather her,
take the reins.
Yeah, take the reins, manage it. Mm-hmm. And I think that there was a point for us where, when she says, hey, what would you like? What turns you on? If I say that turns me on, and she's kind of like, okay. But then she actually,
I just have to talk myself into stuff that like I wouldn't be like, oh, I want to do this. But if he says it, that it just takes me longer to warm up to the idea. Like him, he's like, oh, yep, sure, let's do that. Well, I mean,
yeah, she likes it. I'm like, you like it, I love it.
Yeah.
But then also, I think another thing that for her, she also realized that, if the way that I like it, she has a whole lot of power. You can manage the situation and.
Sometimes I don't like to be the manager.
Hey, listen, if you're concerned about me dealing with her, how about you just plan everything out and then just...
I don't like being the manager.
Bring her over when I have an erection, and then, no. I can go sleep while you're hanging out with her, and then, so like that works better for me. Like that works so much better. And now
I feel like that's kind of lazy.
Yeah. But now you have all the control of it, so like you have no reason to be uncomfortable because.
And I've literally relinquished all my.
He's
control.
got an erection. Here, come on over.
I've literally relinquished my control. I'm okay with that. I like you, like kind of controlling your own stuff. I mean, like I'm a part of it, but I like 10%. I like being the 10%, not like the 50.
Yeah. I mean, she's comfortable with it now.
Mm-hmm. I like being the 10 though, just because. I haven't really been like texting anyone like that or really doing anything until more recently. I started talking to some more people and sexting people, which is asinine again.
Whoring it up.
I'm not normally
whoring it up.
I'm not good at sexting. I'm not good at texting.
Oh,
like
she's good at sexting when she wants to be.
Remember, like I used to get texts from like some guys that would be like, "Oh, what would they say? Like, what do you want to do to me?" or something like that. And I was so bad at it, I would have to respond and be like, can I just like show you when you get here? Like, it was really bad. Like,
that
I'm
was
sorry.
just lazy.
No, it was like I was working. I had the kids around.
That was lazy. Okay. Mrs. Mocha has a very dirty mind. And when she puts her dirty mind to things...
I have to be properly motivated, though.
Yeah. If listen, when Mrs. Mocha start talking dirty, you cannot want to get hard, but you're going to get hard. Trust me. I know.
No, but I have to have, like, proper motivation. Like, wow, Mr. Mocha's throwing shit. I have to have, like, proper motivation. Like, and usually the dirty talk comes with when I'm actually fucking. So it's harder for me to sext,
But she can do it. And good.
No.
When she wants to.
No.
When she wants to do it, she can handle it.
You're right. I can do it.
Unless you
Put your mic up to your mouth.
Unless she's being shy.
I'm only shy, like, initially when I meet people, and it's only because I don't want to be overwhelming. Because I know that, like, one of the, like, chicks at work told me that I word vomit. She said, like, you're either really quiet or you vomit a lot of information all at the same time.
I don't believe her.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't know. You know I'm really quiet, though, initially. I don't like to say a whole lot in the beginning.
No, like at work, you word vomit when you're under attack and you finally had enough. But you
I feel like I do that though too. Like when when I first meet people, I'm just quiet, and then I'm like, "Oh, this is what we're doing. Cool." I like to just feel the vibes of the room. I don't want to just jump on the horse. Let me see what everybody else is doing.
I've seen you jump on the horse.
I've jumped on some regular degulars too.
But you like to jump on the horse.
Sometimes. A horse is not a daily driver.
Oh.
No. Anyways, we're rambling, Mr. Mocha.
Well, I think that we've got our point across.
Conclusion is, talk about your fantasies. Don't let other people influence the way you do your lifestyle journey. I mean, I think we've kind of had an episode about that too, but don't be ashamed of what you are. If you're a cuck, be a cuck.
And don't shame people.
Yeah, if you like gangbangs, then have a gangbang. If you anything that you're into, if you like being fisted, get fisted. Who cares? Who cares what your friends say or whatever? They should like you no matter what.
And on that note, we are your hosts, Mr and Mrs Mocha. This is the O Faces podcast. If you enjoy listening to us, remember you can find us wherever you get your podcast. That's O Faces with a Z, OFACEZ. Until next time, I am Mr. Mocha, and
goodbye from the Mochas.
Bring it over to this mirror so I can see your legs trembling. I got it so easily. That shit just like a pool, let me swim in it. And when we're all done, fall asleep.